Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it's me, Aceh Hidayat from Indonesia, host for this session.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, everybody can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is already evening in Bogor, Indonesia. I am Aceh Hidayat, chair for this session, replacing Professor Selvi, who is cannot coming on this session. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time to start, and we have around 20 minutes for presentation in all, and the rest time around 15 minutes for discussion. So we have, I think, 4 minutes for everybody to give presentation, and I cannot see who is the first speaker in the program. Okay. Based on the schedule I have, that we have 4 speakers for this session, and I will invite the first one, who is Bu Sabri. Can I see the program? Sorry, because I cannot see now. Sorry, wait a moment. Wait a moment. Sorry. I think the first speaker is Dr. Majid Monemjed, Vice Chancellor for Research, University of Kazan, Iran. Is he already here in our room? Dr. Majid is already here in our room? Not yet, I think. So I will, next to the next speaker, I will continue to the next speaker. Dr. Nick Kandan is already here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm available.
Okay, because Dr. Majid is not yet already here, so I will give you the chance to you, Doctor.
Sure.
Okay, Dr. Nick Kandan, please, time is yours.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all members present. Thank you very much for the opportunity given for presenting our case in this forum. I am representing Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, established in India. Our institution was established in 1984, and it is a private university now. Our institution is located in the pristine foothills of scenic Western Ghats of India, and the institute got university status in 2006. 14 years old university, but institution is 36 years old now. Initially, it was started as a college, now it is in university. The institution has been serving the society for more than 36 years now, and we have UG, PG, and PhD programs. We participate in many green rankings within India and outside India also, global rankings. UI Green Metric is one of the global rankings we regularly participate, and our ranking is 253 in the world and 4 within India. And we also participated in the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, where we stand 100 to 200 band in SDG 6 clean water system. Apart from that, we have many accreditation and rankings globally as well as within India. We have ABET accreditation for 11 of our programs. And then within India, we stand at 60th rank in engineering and 72 in the university by Government of India ranking called National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF, which is very popular today. And regarding the green initiatives, we focus mainly on water and energy conservation because these two are very important to us. Our institution is located in a rain shadow region, and our rainfall is about 700 millimeter per year. The groundwater is available at a depth of about 300 meter, nearly 1,000 foot, and the quantity that can be extracted is also very, very low. Hence, it is in the DNA of the stakeholders of our institution, starting from the top level managers to the students. We have made many steps to conserve water, such as creating water bodies, small reservoirs by constructing check dams, recharging bore wells and canals with bore wells for recharging. Then we have also installed dual pipeline systems to reuse the treated wastewater. These wastewater treated is used for flushing the toilets, etc. And we also use it for gardening purpose. And water conservation machines like centralized washing machines, etc., water conserving taps, those things we have used. And that helps us in making the environment green. We nearly have 50% green coverage now. Of course, we have agricultural programs for which we require more than the campus area, we require the agricultural land. Of course, they are definitely green. Without that, even without that, we have nearly 50% green cover. In the energy conservation side, we have major initiatives in installation of solar energy systems. We have around 800 kilowatt solar system now, and we also use many energy conserving equipments such as sensor-based lighting systems, sensor-based air conditioners, energy efficient lights, super fans, etc. Our air conditioners are sensor-based, many of them, and whenever people are there, it will be on, otherwise automatically they get switched off. Similarly, lighting systems, the lighting systems are motion sensor systems. Whenever there is a movement, we get the light, otherwise they get switched off automatically. At present, we are expecting about 40 to 45% of our energy requirement can be supplied by solar systems. Recently upgraded around 250 kilowatt power solar system, and we are yet to see the utilization. Due to Corona pandemic, our university is not working fully, and so we are yet to experience the full potential of the system. So to showcase our energy and water kind of green initiatives, we showcase our activities in a lot of forums. One such thing is IUCE, Indo-Universal Collaboration for Engineering Education, wherein a lot of American and Indian institutions participate, and regularly there will be activities like meetings, virtual meetings and all, and many institutions participate both from US as well as India. And there we showcase, every year we regularly showcase our systems, our activities, our achievements, so that it will inspire others. Many inquiries are also coming on our progress and asking suggestions and all.
Sorry, your time is off. Can you finish it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I have completed. Thank you for giving the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. And we are going to the next presenter. I will invite Dr. Laszlo Giarmati from Szeged, Hungary. Time is yours.
Everyone. Yes, I'm here. Do you hear me? Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Lovely, great. Can I start my presentation?
Yes, you can start, please.
Okay, lovely. I start a stopper, so I'm gonna be on time. Hello, everyone. Welcome from Szeged, Hungary. So I have 4 minutes regarding to our presentation, so I'm going to be real quick. Szeged is one of the biggest university in Hungary. We have 12 faculties, we have 21,000 students, and we have around 7,000 employees. Well, we are really proud of that. That the University of Szeged is the greenest university since the beginning of the Green Metric survey. And last year, just one more fact about ranking. Last year, we participated in the impact ranking, which monitors the 17 development goals achievements in the universities, and we were in the top 200 universities. When I have to speak about the university's goals about the sustainability, I mention always 2 pillars of sustainability. First of all, the University of Szeged always try to promotion the environmental conscious behavior, which means that at the main building of the Study and University of Szeged, which is called the Study and Information Center, we have events regarding to sustainability in every year. Birdwater Day, Green Oasis, Stress-Free Day, and so on. And we have a lot of communication campaign towards the citizens of the university, the employees of the universities, and the citizens of the Szeged city as well. The second pillar of the sustainability is the technical solution which we are trying to install and spread among the building of the university, which means that we try to use as much as can the renewable energy sources. We have 4 renewable energy sources which are already in use in the university's building. We have solar collectors, solar panels. We use the geothermal energy of the earth beneath the city of Szeged, and we at the Study and Information Center, where I am right now, we use the heat of the urban wastewater to heat this building right now. Well, if I have to speak a few words about the new goals to tackle the challenges of CO2 reduction, first of all, right now we are a program where we are monitor exactly the CO2 emission of the main building, which is called the Study and Information Center. We have in this building around 300 events regularly, not in this pandemic situation. We have around 3,000 or 5,000 visitors every day because the main library of the university is here. So this is one of the biggest building at the Study and Information Center, and right now we are measuring the exact CO2 emission of this building, because if we know the exact emissions CO2 numbers, we can set a target how can we lower it. 2 methods that I can give you right now, which are we working on. First of all, we installed a technical solution called frequency inverters in the main hall in this building. With this investment, we can lower by hundreds of tons CO2 emission of the building. And the University of Szeged obtained 5 electric cars in the spring with the help of the Ministry of Innovation. And with those cars, we use to substitute the old diesel cars which were used to blood transportation for emergency operations, and we use those cars for documented transportation between the university's building. And the third pillar, which are we working right now, is a green online campus program where we can create a teaching material, and we can would like to. Our goal is to, when we finish this teaching material, we can give it to the students of the University of Szeged via online, the employees of the University of Szeged, the visitors of the university's building and the events of the university. And we would like to give them a tip tool how they can lower their emission regarding their transportation, their way of living, and using the infrastructure of the University of Szeged. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Now we are going to next speaker. I am inviting Dr. Anna Toji. Please, your time.
Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes, I am hearing you. Yes.
Yes,
It's nice.
we can.
Okay. So, first of all, many thanks from my university for the organization of the meeting, for the invitation to contribute to the results. I have to introduce the environment where our policy is started. L'Aquila is a medieval city rich of monuments located at the center of Italy and at the foot of the highest mountains of Apennine chain. It is the capital of Abruzzo, defined the blue region of Europe because we are at the crossborder of two national and three regional parks, rich of biodiversity and rare animal and plant species. Thus, protection and preservation are key issues for the cultural, social, and the natural assets of my territory. The university, as other institutions in Italy, started the academic activities centuries ago in the city center, in buildings that now became an important part of the architectural and cultural heritage of the city. In the last decades, two main campuses have been built in the suburban areas of the city at a distance of about 8 kilometers from the city center, one in a top hill, on the top of a hill totally covered by pine forest, the other in a place surrounded by a small river which forms a pool and in an oasis, natural oasis with high biodiversity. Our scientific competencies covered by teaching research are all fields of engineering, ICT, physics, mathematics, biology, botany, zoology, besides the humanities, and all involved in the achievement of the sustainable goals set by the United Nations and the key elements of the university strategic plans. In the Times Impact, we got a good position. We are second in Italy and 87 in the global ranking because sustainability is really a key topic for us. These competencies have been very important in the reconstruction phase of the city after the destroying earthquake of 2009 that endangered a lot of monuments and the cities, and besides also the social fabric of the city. So the university, with its multidisciplinary approach to the reconstruction and direct participation in the decision-making process, proved to be a key factor for the reconstruction and resilience of the whole territory. Now the city is becoming a smart city, joining in a very smart way the ancient part of monuments together with modern services and monitoring and risk prevention. This process, this multidisciplinary approach to the reconstruction was followed also by the reconstruction of the buildings in the universities. And so we could transform a disaster in opportunity to do something new and something very sustainable. Concerning the energy and climate change, the university worked mainly, but all the teams, but especially with the Excellence Research Center, CETEMPS, whose teams working in atmospheric physics were ranked the first in Italy by ARI. Also, the Excellence Center DUIS focused in IoT and artificial intelligence, and also those working in renewable energy production, solar, wind, hydropower, building efficiency and retrofitting, all focused in sustainability of and energy saving of the university buildings. Thus, taking the advantage to renovate all the structures and devices, all the lamps were replaced by LED technologies, and all devices are replaced with highest energy saving ones, taking into account the most modern technologies. Now, 5 buildings can be defined smart buildings as according to the classification of green metric and also the RUS indicators as followed by the ranking. The percentage of total floor area on the smart building area on the total area reached 90%. Monitoring and for checking and saving energy are applied to many buildings, so we can check how the energy consumption of our buildings. For the renewable sources, the university was establishing a photovoltaic power plant and a solar thermal plant on the new building of human science department, so that the electrical power provided by this plant covers 17% of the total requirement, and the thermal collectors provide about 25% of the total needs. Of course, we are planning, we are projecting new plants, new solar plants, new devices in order to produce more renewable energy and to make, put less burden on the total energy consumption. This was possible according to precise definition, precise plans, and especially by the will of all the teams to work together to improve our university and our city. That's all. I hope to be on time.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anna, for your presentation. We have still one presenter, Dr. Majid, but he's not coming, I think, and we don't have any information from him. So I think we will end this presentation, and now we are going to the discussion, and we have around maybe only 7 minutes for discussion. Any question, maybe? Any question and comment, maybe, from the participant, please?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please raise, okay. User, and please tell your question and address to whom, please.
Excuse me?
Yes, it is your time for a question.
Yes, the question that I'm interested to ask is that for most of country, especially developing country, cost is very important as a problem for developing sustainability and green development. Most of the university that we hear the presentations pay to the renewable energies, but we know that renewable energy in some country is very expensive, and so most of us prefer to work with fossil fuels. I'm interested to know, as an educational organizations, are they consider economical aspect or not? Just for green development, they follow and don't respect to economical problems. Which one?
Okay, thank you for your question, and I will give first opportunity to Dr. Nilakandan for answer the question. Please, your time.
Yes, thank you very much. It is a very good, pertinent question. Actually, the solar energy looks little costly at the initial stage, but in the long run, it is a more viable one. There are many sustainable models like there are some investors, those who are developing the solar systems, they finance the system initially, and we have the installment, year-wise installment, something like within 10 years, we can pay back the total installation cost to the promoters. So this is how it works, and there are a lot of government subsidies also. Governments are promoting, especially in India, government is supporting that. So these kind of things definitely helps us. Apart from all these things, it is not so easy to install at one stroke. Every year we
Hello.
The budget is around %. Okay, among the total budget, we allocate initiatives, including the energy. Beyond that, it is difficult for us to run the system, university. So this is how we do, and it is a gradual implementation only. We cannot do at one stroke. Every year, we are trying to install around 200 megawatts or so. Thank you very much. Hope I have answered.
Okay. Any answer from the Dr. Anna? Maybe do you have any answer for the question? Do you want to answer, Anataji?
Yes. What? Sorry. I have no, just a question. More than a question, is a kind of answer to the first question. I think that she's right. Some devices are very expensive for the renewable energy, but we have to do some effort. Maybe the universities can also help in finding cheaper solutions for this. Research is going on this field. I think that the universities can give the answer. I was also thinking in the last days that we are working and we're making a lot of effort to reduce the burden on the environment, but the recent pandemic disaster due to COVID-19 is producing the increase of consumption of water because we wash our hands more and more. A lot of chemical, biological products from laboratories for the analysis from the hospitals. A lot of energy consumption and water consumption for cleaning and sanitize the clothes of the doctors. So in one sense, if we are not very careful, we can destroy in a few months the efforts made during the last years. Again, I think the answer is in the university. University researchers can make studies, can produce other different strategies and tools for obtaining the same results, for instance, in clinical analysis or in material used for protecting the health, people working in the health sector, but also in the families. Otherwise, we are not able to afford the challenges of the future. We don't know what is just next year, which threats is in front of us. COVID, I think, was teaching us to be ready to something that we don't know, but something that we have to afford. So this is the main point, the main lesson that we have to learn after the earthquake. Earthquake is an example of a disaster, but disasters can happen everywhere and every time. So we have to be very careful. We must be actors in our cities, in our territories.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Anna, for your answer. And maybe Dr. Lazlo, do you have any comment for the question? Hello, Dr. Lazlo.
Yes.
Do you have any comment for the question?
Okay, I have one thing. the responsibility of the universities, I would like to add one more thing in the field of trying renewable energies and technologies. Well, those technologies can be really quite expensive, and that's true in Hungary as well. But if a university has a great concept, trying out a new technology, it can have some help from the government and in Europe from the European Union as well. So I think the universities has a responsibility as well to trying new technologies out and to be a great example of showing that technology in working. For example, if I install a new technology, but I don't know yet the operation cost, it can be a really good experience to understand that in the long run, that technology is worth funding for or not worth funding for. So there are two kinds of things we have to consider: the rate of return of a new technology, the knowledge that we can obtain if we install that technology at the university campus. And I think this the responsibility that the university has to bear as well, beside of teaching and learning.
Okay, thank you for your question and answer. And now we are going to the next session for question. We have still time about 10 minutes until the end of the session, and I will give you. Okay, raising hand, Fatima. Okay, okay, please, your.
Thanks very much. I have a question about the justice and the social aspect of energy, especially when it comes to climate change and solutions like green fuels, like biofuel and carbon storage. All of these that they have discussed aspects for like land use change and how it can be actually in the process of production and access to energy, different social groups, how they can benefit from that. And I want to know that how your universities are trying to engage in these kind of topics and how much the universities are incentivized or motivated to engage in these topics within the field of energy, which is more like, connecting it back to the social aspects of sustainability.
Okay, thank you, Fatima, for your question, and I will give a chance to Dr. Lazio maybe for answering the question, please. Hello, Dr. Lazio, do you have any comment for the question?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, could you repeat the first part of the question, because there was a little noise. I cannot hear it clearly. I'm sorry. Okay. Could you repeat it, please?
No, all right, but can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. I was wondering with the topic of energy, especially when it's dealing with climate change, adaptation, or mitigation, there are a lot of aspects that engage with the climate justice and like how much for the production of these substitute sources of energy or these renewable sources of energy, whether it is biofuel or any other sort of renewables, how much it kind of affects the society and different groups and like different groups of people that they have to, like for land use change that they are affected, and also access to energy, like the energy justice aspect. How do your universities engage in those aspects of renewables or energy when it comes to climate change adaptation and mitigation?
Oh, okay. It's a quite good and difficult question as well, because everyone has the right to have the right to use energy, but the energy consumption is really depends on the welfare of the society, and really depends on the economical situation as well. But first of all, how the energy is produced. It's a really interesting question. It is produced by using coal mines, or it is produced by using renewable energies, because it depends on the price of the energy. And of course, if the price is high for the energy, it is hard to give it to everyone. Well, the University of Szeged, we are in a town called Szeged, and we are scattered all around the city. We have 300 buildings all around the city, and we are rely on the energy that the Hungarian government and Hungarian power plant can give us. Well, if we think about a technology that uses a lot of energy, we always consider it, okay, we will need energy for that technology, for example, heat pumps, which are using, but this energy usage can substitute the gas emission that we're using right now, and we use more energy. Yes, in the field of energy justice, it's an interesting question, but we won't use as much gas and CO2 direct emission because of that in the city. So locally, we think it's a good solution. Of course, I know that globally, it's a really interesting question that globally, how can the whole system be just, and how can the whole system just and the CO2 emission, how can be lowered globally? Well, I think everyone has to do their own part and share as many practices as we can.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Nilakandan, do you have any answer for the question?
Yes, please, I will give you a brief answer. See, the social impact, how the society is getting benefited or how the society is getting impacted, I don't think the land use change is a great issue here, because especially if you take the energy, the solar panels are installed on the rooftop, and the government policies are insisting that all the government offices especially should have the solar panels now, and this will definitely promotes among the other people, private industries as well as residential houses. So government is taking a lot of initiative, and that is followed up by other people. So that is one. In the university, especially on the energy sector, we have a lot of we have community service project for engineering students. It is mandatory for all undergraduate engineering students, community service project. It is of 2 credit, and they have to go to the nearby society, mostly villages, and develop some tools, technology for them, wherein they develop small solar systems or rainwater harvesting systems, something like that. So definitely we are encouraging students in developing tools for sustainable development. And apart from that, we have the entrepreneurship cell, where the students are trained, they are given funding, we help them to get the resources from other sponsorships, wherein they concentrate on such, they address such issues there. They want to become entrepreneurs in the fields of sustainable development, like solar panel systems and all for households or industries, and then sensor-based lights, etc. they are developing. And definitely these are encouraging the students, and ultimately the society is getting benefited. And I don't think the land use is a big issue here. Or I'm not getting the exact point what she is referring to, land use changes and all. Thank you very much. This is my response.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And I will ask Professor Anna to give a comment for the question. Still mute? Okay.
The question, yes. I have only a question about, I've heard about the renewable sources, panels, etc. So we are at the beginning of this phase, and I'm asking to partners how they are planning the recycling of the materials used for these panels, because another problem will be when these panels are exhausted, how to recover the materials, how to recycle. So how the university are planning to manage this phase, which is not very close, but it is close enough to do precise plans for this. In Italy, we have special laws, special rules to be followed for this kind of waste. But I think that universities can give a good contribution to find new ways, new methods, a better recycling and effective recycling methodologies. So I'm asking if the universities you represented are planning this phase.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And we have still time about 7 minutes to the 8. So we will open the last chance for question and answer. Please raise your hand. Any question from the participant? Okay, Fatima again, please.
I'm sorry, I just want to ask another question. That with all IPCC scenarios, like for the future of the climate change and climate change adaptation, they usually integrate for like 1.5 or 2 degrees increasing global warming or temperature. They include the negative emission technologies. That means that they have to do afforestation a lot in different areas, and that means a lot of land use change. And given that there is a lot of inequality in the world, so it's most often I don't think that the land in Europe or in North America or in the North will be converted, but there is the cheaper lands probably in developing countries will be affected. So how are universities in those regions engaging in this topic? Are they feeling any kind of agency in kind of affecting that? Or yeah, I would like to know that how do they engage in that topic?
Okay, thank you, Fatima. Who will answer the first? Maybe Professor Anna? Any comment for that question?
You asking me for an answer to this issue is a very important issue, of course. I think that universities must be engaged in local policy making, in local planning, must also contribute in the production of directives at the local and national level, to integrate more and more the scientific knowledge with technological skills and knowledge, with the capacity of policymakers to decide properly what is the future of their people, of the society. The last years were teaching that what we were speaking about 10 years ago, about climate changes, climate and other ecological disasters are coming much faster than we could think 10 years ago. And this means that the process is going in a way, not linear way, but with exponential way. And we really don't know if we are able to stop the process. We have to work as a single institution, but also as a single person in this process, because you can do and can prepare the best law, the best rules, the best policy, but if the behavior of people doesn't change, you cannot reach the result. And I think that COVID is teaching a lot about the reaction of people to dangers. And I don't know if it is a positive answer. We have to teach the right way to answer, to cope with the challenges and threats, because we really don't know what is happening tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. University has the technology and the knowledge to do some new find, to find something new, something useful. But so far, research was adding things, adding substances to add burden on the environment. Now research should be on the converse, to reduce the burden, to reduce the chemical substances, the other pollutant now in circulation. So we have to change the mentality in teaching and in doing the research. And only if we, as single person, will do this, we can change something.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Anna. And then I will ask Dr. Nilakantan. Maybe do you have any comment for the question?
Sure. Yeah, the divide between the rural and urban people, the divide between the rich and poor, the divide between public sector and private sector, it's always existing. And we have to live with that. And whatever possible, we are doing, trying to reduce the gap using the technology. And of course, within the ranking systems and all, the government sectors, they get a lot of funding for green initiative, whereas the private sector, they have to manage their own fundings. These kind of things are existing always. And but the overall final benefit is for all that we like to promote among the students, and whatever best possible we are trying. The divide between this rich poor duality is always existing. We have to live with that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nilakantan. And then the last comment from Dr. Laszlo. Please, your time.
Yes, well, I think every university is responsible, first of all, the lowering the emission of the building of the universities, lowering the emission of the transportation regarding to the activities of the universities. And every university has a role to find some funding to fund the research that that can have a contribution to the changing or back forwarding the climate changing. As I said, the University of Szeged is partly scattered all around the city of Szeged. So I think that our goal is to give good examples to every students and visitors who enter one of the building of the university. And beside of that, we have to have one specific goal. One goal that what can we do, what can we make more sustainable in the field of the sustainable goals. And the University of Szeged has already picked one, because we are trying to contribute to manage one of the world's most dangerous and hazardous waste is the nuclear waste. And the University of Szeged is trying to find a solution to reduce the half-time of the nuclear waste, which can be a really great achievement and can contribute a lot of the stopping the climate change. Stopping the climate change. Yes. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Where in my place? I cannot hear anything. Sorry. My problem. Okay. Sorry, because there is a heavy rain in my place. I have to change my place. I move. Okay, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I think our time is already finished. and we should go to the next room because I should also give a presentation. So I thank you for the speaker and participant and question and answer, and I think it's very useful presentation, very useful question and answer. So I would like to say thank you everybody and closing this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your participation, and of course, all of the speakers. Thank you.
Sorry, it is there is heavy rain here in my place, so I can't hear anything. Sorry.
Excuse
Hello?
me? I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, but I cannot hear you. It is very heavy rain in my place. Heavy rain in my place.
Yes,
Heavy
I
rain.
found that.
Okay.
Thank
It
you.
is good time. Get a lot
Thank
of
you.
water. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I cannot hear anything. It is big rain in my country, in my place.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye bye. To next meeting.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Atta.
Hello, I can hear 5 minutes break. Then we can start.
Bye-bye.
Hello. I'm sorry for not hearing anything.
It's raining in Indonesia. Fabio, I can hear 5 minutes break. Then we can start, right?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Sabrina, can you take over because it is very heavy rain in my place. I cannot hear anything.
Okay.
It is very feeble for me also.
Yes, of course. You can break and come to other room.
Okay, so after 5 minutes we start, right? Fabio, do you hear me?
So I think we are finishing this session and we move to other group, yeah, because other room is already waiting for us. Okay, thank you very much for all.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, interesting.
Okay, so do we continue or have 5 minutes
If
break?
there are any other questions, please let
We
us know.
continue, I will
Unless
start.
we are going to conclude the
Because I'm the
session,
host for the next session.
or any
I'm here.
responses, please,
I will
from our participants
from
and
you.
presenters, please. So, thank you all. I have to go to the concluding remarks.
Dear participants, welcome. In 2 minutes, we will be starting the next session. We welcome all the participants. They are still coming and I'm admitting them into the room.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Welcome, Professor Luciana.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't hear you very well. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you. I
Hi.
think the problem with the connection anyway. In 1 minute, we will be starting. Still the participants are coming. Okay, I think this is the summary of the session. So I think it's time. So let me begin. First of all, welcome all participants from all over the world, and I must say I am really happy to attend this workshop and meet so many participants from all over the world. And I want to thank Professor really for organizing this event, which will be very useful for sustainability of all universities. This session, I don't want to speak so much, and I want to turn over to you for this valuable presentation. The discussion session 2C, discussion session 2C, and our subject is Innovation for Biodiversity Conservation in Universities. Of course, universities are supposed to contribute supporting biodiversity, protecting biodiversity, and they must set examples for the whole public and for whole nation for preserving the nature and the biodiversity. So in this session about the subject, we will have four valuable presentations today. And the first speaker today is from IPP University, Indonesia, Dr. Asen Hidayat, representative of rector from IPP University. Is our speaker here, Asen Hidayat? I don't know if I am pronouncing it correctly. Asen Hidayat. If he is not here, I will move on to the next speaker. All speakers, we have 4 minutes to summarize their presentations because we have already watched the presentation. So Aslan Hidayat will be presenting later 3 or 4 minutes summary of the presentation. Is Professor Esmail Karamide Kordi, is he here for his presentation? Professor Karamide Kordi, do you hear me? I think he is here. Maybe he is preparing, or maybe you were just too quick.
Hello, Dr. Banser.
Professor Karamide Kordi, welcome.
Okay.
We hear you very well. Okay, now you can summarize your presentation for us. Professor Karamide Kordi, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are listening to you.
Okay. Can you hear me, Dr. Banser? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me share my okay. This presentation is about the higher education and universities' role in biodiversity management. Biological resources provide ecosystem services and are vital to economic and social development, and are global asset to present and future and existing generation. But the threat to species and ecosystems are never been so great as today. So species extinction caused by human activities continuing at an alarming rate. According to IUCN assessment, out of 120,000 species, 32,000 species are threatened with extinction. So you can see that some of the species are critically are threatened, and overall 27% of the species are threatened with extinction. And the forest, you can see that earth forest area continues to shrink down, though the rate of net loss of the global forest has slowed down, but still we can see the reduce of forests in the world. And there are lots of different natural and human-induced factors affecting biodiversity loss. And so the Convention on Biological Diversity, which entered into force in 1993, has three main goals for helping to managing and conserving biodiversity, and also sustainable use of the component of biological diversity, and fair and equitable share of benefits of arising the utilization of genetic resources. So several strategic plan has been ratified and designed during 2010 to 2020, and recently post-2020 biodiversity framework, which has been discussed by CBD, a Convention on Biological Diversity, has a vision of 2015 living in harmony with nature. And it has several main goals, such as ecosystems, species, and genetic diversity, benefits shared equitably, human needs are met, and means of implementation. So there are 20 main targets, but they are depending on this action targets, depending on the support mechanisms for helping them. Out of this, implementing this mechanism depends on the participation of all relevant stakeholders, including academia and scientific institutions, non-governmental organizations, youth, civil society, local and subnational authorities, private sector, and etc. So the higher education institutions in post-2020 biodiversity framework has the role of knowledge generation and innovation development, technical and scientific cooperation, technology transfer, enhancing staff and student knowledge and capacities, changing higher education institutions' environment to eco-friendly with biodiversity management strategies, and enhancing social and human capacity of communities and public and private institutions for biodiversity management. So you can see there are several activities we can do in capacity building, knowledge sharing, knowledge management, mainstreaming of biological diversity, conservation, international communication for that. And University of Zanjan has acted during this last decade as the international hub of SDG 15 in United Nations academic impact, and also it has hosted and participated in several international and national events during the last year. For example,
I'm so sorry, but can you sum up, please?
So I just want to finish in, and then it's open for further discussion with colleagues. Okay.
Thank you for your summary, Professor Karim Dekord. I am quite impressed by the information you have given, and thanks a lot for sharing your presentation with us. Thank you. And first we will go through the speakers one by one, then we will have the question and answer session. So our next speaker is Ms. Julie Davis, Vice President for External Relations Advancement, Trans University Canada. Welcome.
morning. Thank you. And greetings to everybody. It's a pleasure to gather with you in our various countries this morning. And I think my paper really follows very well from Dr. Karamadgori's presentation, which calls upon universities to take an active role in collaboration in bringing campus and community assets to the conservation of biodiversity. And I have been leading the Trent Lands Plan process for the last 3 years in an effort to identify ways that we can manage both the natural heritage of our campus at the same time as we are responding to the need for growth of the campus assets and to help meet community needs for particularly housing and employment. And so one of the key areas of focus has been collaborating with Indigenous communities. That is a significant theme within Canada. The theme of reconciliation is very prominent. And as a university, we are known for our leadership in the environment and in Indigenous studies. And so it was very important that our land planning process modeled our leadership in our academic planning. And so what we have learned through the process, and we've just released our draft plan yesterday for public comment, over the past 2 years, we have engaged very proactively and hopefully very authentically with the Indigenous communities, the First Nations in our area, to collect Indigenous traditional knowledge, particularly with a focus on understanding their perspective and knowledge of the land and their traditional ways of conserving biodiversity. So some of the key lessons that we've learned through this period of time is that the foundation in this collaboration is trust building. That has taken some time. There was a lack of trust based on past decisions for what we would do on our campus lands. And in order to engage in that trust building, we brought on board a consultant who had a deep knowledge of that community to help build the knowledge of the consultant and the leadership team so that we would understand better the traditions and protocols of the Indigenous communities, that we would build an understanding of some of the worldviews so that we were better able to receive that knowledge, and that we would be able to participate comfortably in the traditions and protocols that enabled the First Nations to share their knowledge. It has been a challenging process. There has been a lot of anger and frustration experienced by First Nations that also is typical of our country's relationship with Indigenous people at the moment, and it has been difficult to separate the general angst with the plight of First Nations people from our particular project. And so it has taken time and a lot of patience for everybody to engage in this process. And it has also required us to have a champion, which in this case was me, who was very committed to this process and the time and effort that it took to have an authentic engagement and to gather that knowledge. So I'm hoping this is the beginning of a continuing partnership in how we steward our natural heritage and how we do that at the same time as we advance campus developments. And I hope that there's some learning there for others, and I very much am interested in other thoughts or ideas that people have to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jill Davis, for your informative speech. And I think that there are really good examples of supporting biodiversity and conservation of biodiversity in Canada. And thank you for sharing the information with us. So we go on with the next speaker from Iran Arab University, Mr. Amir Ansari. Is he here, Mr. Amir Ansari? I think he is not. I can't see. So the first speaker was not here, Dr. Asang Hidayat from IPD University in Indonesia. Is Mr. Asang Hidayat here?
Yes, I am here.
Okay,
Is it time for presentation?
Welcome, Dr. Hidayat. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is already evening in my country, in Indonesia. I am Aceh Hidayat from Bogor Agriculture University or IPB University. I would like to share some screen. Yeah. Sorry. Wait a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit information about my campus, about my university, located in Bogor. It is very near from Jakarta, or it is around 60 kilometers from Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, and we are established in 1963, and before being a university, our university is only a faculty of agriculture from University of Indonesia. So we are with the UE is sister and brothers. Yeah. So that's because of the historical background. Our university is the only state university which focus on agriculture and bioscience. According to UE Green Metric, my university is top 40, the most sustainable university in the world, or the second most sustainable in Indonesia after University of Indonesia. So I think it is our concern to be a sustainable university. And for making the dream become a reality, we have a program of Green Campus. And we have Green Campus has 7 criteria, and what we want to share this evening is about biodiversity. It is very our concern. Our main campus is the area of our main campus is around 262 hectares. This is the main campus in Bogor, and 46% is covered by the forest. And it is really forest because you know that before being university, it is how to say the forest, the area of forest. And then planted trees coverage around 20%. So that's why our campus covered by planted area is 66%. So there are almost 173 wood plant and also surrounded by tree river. And then inside the campus, we have 5 lakes. So we have, very rich with terrestrial as well as aquatic biodiversity. For maintaining university, we have given a mandate to Faculty of Forestry to monitor yearly and according to annual report and monitoring from Faculty of Agriculture, Faculty of Forestry. There is in our campus there is 20 type of mammal, 97 species of birds, 12 type of amphibians, and 36 species of reptile, and then 75 types of butterfly. So because of that, our campus is very rich with biodiversity. In 2005, we have declared to be campus biodiversity long before we join green metric. And because of that situation, we have made a decision to develop agro-edotourism. So it is many students from from the school, especially from basic school, elementary school, come to the university for enjoying biodiversity, rich biodiversity in our campus. And this is very important for regulating the climate change around Bogor and around Bogor and our campus. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dr. Hidayat, thank you so much for your informative presentation. And I must admit I am quite impressed by the type of biodiversity on your campus. I have been to Indonesia, I have been to Jakarta once, but I have never been to Bogor. I'm really keen on visiting Bogor and your university. I'm really impressed by the variety of species on your campus. It's really beautiful, must be.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry? So we go on with the next speaker, the last speaker today in this session. Dr. Hasan Hidayat has finished his speech. So we come to Mr. Amir Ansari from Arab University in Iran. Is Mr. Ansari here? Mr. Amir Ansari, is he here? I think he is not. Okay. So if he comes, we can have his presentation within the time allocated. So we had 3 presentations. Now I want to go on with the question and answer session. If you have any questions to our speakers about the presentation, you are all welcome.
Yes, okay. If I may, this is Luciana Sacchetti from University of Bologna. I will put my video on. Good afternoon. Wait a second, it's not centered. Okay, fine. Okay, I have a question for the last speaker, so to Dr. Arseng. If you can say something more about your eco-tourism that you mentioned for university. I understand that location is beautiful. You are surrounded by rivers. You are in the middle of the forest. But do you think this kind of this approach could be also done in different surroundings, let's say in historical cities, for example? So do you think that there is a way to connect university and tourism in a way? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sacchetti. And now I think the question was for you, Mr. Hasan Hidayat.
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, we have managed our tourism in campus by our business unit. So we have also make cooperation with the city of Bogor. You know that Bogor is very near to Jakarta and also is heritage city. In Bogor there is botanical garden, and then President Palace. And IPB University, one of the old building in the central of the city, is also one of the heritage. And now our building is under control from the government of the city. So that's why we have a collaboration between IPB and at least with the mayor of the city of Bogor, and we often sharing information, sharing how to manage information for the tourists. Thank you.
Very good. I think IPB has an excellent campus in terms of the nature and all touristic attractions. I think you are based on agriculture, right, Dr.
Yes.
Am I right? Yes. You are an agricultural university. We have an agreement between our universities, that's how I know. And maybe you can focus on tourism later, who knows? That's the good idea.
Not focused on tourism, yeah, but we use our advantage for tourism.
Mm-hmm. Very good, quite good. Thank you for information. Okay, we go on with the questions. Any other questions for the speaker? From our participants, you are all welcome to ask questions. By the way, it's Mr. Amir Ansari from Iran, Arab University. If he comes, he can inform us to summarize his presentation. And any other questions for the speaker? You're welcome.
Hello.
Okay. I see there's a question.
Hello. Can I ask a question? I'm not able to hear you properly. Yeah. Thank you very much. What are the initiatives taken by your university to maintain the biodiversity in the campus? And how do you engage the students in those activities? I have given my question in the chat also.
For my question, sorry, your question for me?
Yeah, yes.
Sorry, please, could you please repeat the last sentence because I cannot hear it clearly.
Okay. What are the initiatives taken by your university to maintain the biodiversity in the campus, and how do you engage students in such activities?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. You know that in my campus there are at least 4 student association which is focused on environmental and natural resources. So they have, how to say, activities and control to our biodiversity. For example, when we how to say have a plan to develop a building, new building, for example, and we have to discuss with them. We have to discuss with the students who are very concerned on the biodiversity, and so we have, how to say, a plan. The title plan. Yeah. So our forest, our biodiversity is restricted for any kind of development. So, and our student can make them for studying, for making, for doing research, and then for everything. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question and thank you for the explanatory answer. And I have been reminded that we also have some questions on the YouTube channel, and now I'm checking the YouTube channel if we have any more questions for the speakers here. Let me check on the YouTube. Okay, so far no questions on YouTube. And for live questions here from our participants, you are all welcome to ask. I'm also looking at the chat.
Mr. Dinser?
Okay,
hello. Can you hear me? Ismail, yeah. Can I just add some answer to the question that raised from our colleague about what type of activities we have done for biodiversity. I want to add that the contribution of the university for biodiversity conservation is not just inside the campus. We have more work for outside the campus. As our colleagues from Canada also, Dr. Julie Davis also said about working with indigenous people, capacity building in the university, in the community, research, technology transfer, and lots of things we should do. For example, in a couple of months ago, we had several workshops, national and international workshops for forest fire and the conservation of forest. We celebrated the International Day of Biodiversity and tried to bring several institutions, private sector, rural people, agriculture extension agents together. Also for World Bee Days, again for how we can conserve pollinators, and bees. And also for domestic local livestock, that it is a treat to them. And also wildlife, immigrant birds, and etc. So this means that universities should go out of their campus and have more contribution on biodiversity conservation. But inside the university, we also have tried to diversify plants that we have planted or we are planting, and we have increased woodlands, and so more plants that are resistant to drought and shortage of water, and also helping students to recognize this issue and also to acknowledge how it's important. And another issue that universities should consider is helping the relationship of culture and society with biodiversity. So these things are several issues that we need to do, we need to work. Post-20 biodiversity framework has just introduced by CBD a couple of weeks ago, demand us, all university, to work and have a leadership in the governance for biodiversity.
Thank you, Professor Ismail.
Thank you for your contribution. It was quite informative and quite useful for all universities, I think. At this point, I have a question to the participants. You all have some kind of biodiversity on your campuses, because you have the chance to have some biodiversity, because you have big campuses, you have green areas, you have a lot of land. However, some universities, actually most of the universities in Europe have a limited amount of land. They have just one or two buildings or very restricted space in the center. But they must also be contributing to the conservation of biodiversity. I think at this point, all these universities based in city centers, they can buy some land or open another campus in the countryside for the conservation of life spaces and biodiversity. Maybe they will do some research and do some applied activities on the land they buy or they establish the campuses in the countryside. This can be a good opinion, because some universities have really limited resources for biodiversity because of limitations on campus space. What do you think? Do you have any contribution to my idea? Or any other question for the speaker?
Can I just add something to your question? Biodiversity conservation has 3 levels: genetic conservation, species conservation, and ecosystem conservation. So as much as you can do, you can work on every part of that. For example, for genetic conservation, you don't need a lot of land. If you have, for example, a good herbarium for having different species and working on the genetic conservation or species, that's fine. If you can have a contribution to your community, the rural community or urban community, to help them to improve their biodiversity management, it means that your university has done a very good job. So it doesn't mean we need a large land, but if you have, it's good, but if you don't have, just why not to go and have a contribution to your society.
Thank you for your contribution. Actually, I didn't know those details, because I'm not expert in biology, or I don't have the detailed knowledge of the area. You are right, so thank you for your explanation. Okay, so we go on with the questions for the speakers. We have some more time, I think.
If I might, thank you, ask a question of Dr. Karamidoki. I'm very interested and impressed by the leadership that your institution is displaying in both within your campus and beyond your campus for biodiversity. And I'm just wondering how is that leadership structured? Is that a strategic focus of the university that somebody in a senior leadership role is responsible for and is funded externally? For us, there's so many things to do. It's hard to devote the resources to the kind of work that you're doing, but I would like to see us get to that point.
Actually, we have structurally, we have two positions now that help us. The first one is that United Nations Academic Impact SDG 15 Hub, and it can help us to have good collaboration with other institutions inside and outside of Iran. And the second one is the University of Zanjan is the permanent member of CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity in Iran. You see that there are focal point in every country in the world has a focal point. That this focal point has a committee and they have a permanent member in these communities. So University of Zanjan is one of the permanent community of that. And another thing that can help us is that we have extended our relationship for national and international events. We use the capacity of each institution to have a collaboration with each other. And that's why now my university is one of the leading university in Iran for biodiversity issues.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you for your explanation. And now
I also invite all the colleagues to join together and make a consortium for this important issue about biological diversity in the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, we will have the chance to meet your campus one day. Who knows, in the future. We have several questions from the group chat to our speakers, and I want to ask from Alejandro Resica. There is a question. Are the interior lakes of the campus natural or artificial? This is the question for ITB University, for Bogor Agricultural University. And do you manage the forest areas of the campus? And these are the questions.
Thank you for the question. Yes, our lake is the source of the water is natural. The source of the water is natural, coming from the forest and from the planted areas. But we make a pond. We make a dam to have a pond, to have a water, to make a lake. So I think it can be, I don't know whether it is natural or artificial, but the source of the water is natural, but we make a dam for making a lake. Yes. So for the second question, we manage the forest by Faculty of Forest, Tree and Environment. We also make collaboration with the CIFOR, International Center for Forest. This is International Forest Center, which is very, very close location to my campus. So they have also a forest area surrounding the office, and we make a collaboration for managing the forest. Outside, beyond our campus, outside of my main campus, we have also forests in other places, and we manage the forest collaboration with with the Ministry of Forest of Indonesia. So thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Really impressive campus. And here we have one more question from Laura Daniela Hernandez. Have you procedures for the management of fauna that include sometimes undesired wild or street animals? Do any of your universities have this kind of policy for street animals or undesired animals?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. But
okay, the question is, have you procedures for the management of fauna that include sometimes undesired or wild or street animals? On your campus.
The main issue that we face in Canada is people walking their dogs off leash and the impact on the wildlife. And it's quite a controversial topic. And so we have 11 nature areas we've created on our campus. We have a very large campus. And those areas have the highest biodiversity or the most significant natural features. And so they are the protected areas, and many of them have trails. And people will walk their dogs and then leave them off leash. So we have just created a new management plan for the nature areas, and it will involve students, to the prior question, in identifying which areas should be preserved and not allow dogs, and what areas are less sensitive and can be used for passive recreation, including dogs. And we will be rerouting some of our trails and putting greater signage around to just be much more conscious of the impact of dogs. And we'll also put up signage to try and educate people on the impact of dogs in natural areas. So we're trying to take an evidence-based approach to manage the interest in walking and running with dogs with the impact on biodiversity.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Thank you for your contribution. Actually, we have a similar problem on our campus. Here, we live in a neighborhood where students live quite densely. Students are around the campus, and they are getting some pets, some dogs or some cats for their houses. Sometime later, they are fed up with them, or they cannot look after them, or they go to their hometown. So they let their dog free, their dog or cat. They come to the campus, they are fed on here because other students are feeding them. There is a high population of dogs on our campus at the moment. The situation is similar for us. Okay, any more questions or contributions? Thank you. It's our pleasure. We have 2 or 3 minutes, but if you don't have any more questions, we can end the session. Dear speakers and participants, thank you all for your contribution and thank you for your valuable participation. And I would like to thank again to Professor Rirefit Tari and Sabina and the Green Message for organizing this workshop. It contributes quite a lot to conservation of the nature and animal species and biodiversity. Thank you all for your participation. Have a nice day.
Thank you. I hope I can use this next time. It's a hologram projector so that we can be together in one place. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Denser, for chairing this session. And I will see you tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, or you can say morning, or I'm a bit confused because of these webinar sessions. Everybody in a part of the world has a special time, morning, evening, or afternoon. So again, I want to say have a good time, and so we will see you again tomorrow for the second day of our workshop. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Arrivederci.
Bye-bye. Hi, Living.
Bye, Luciana.
Ciao. Arrivederci.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Terima kasih, Pak Aceng.
Sama-sama, Bu Riri. Terima kasih.